Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Leslie Marin. Pat Harvey is off tonight. President Trump's trade war continues to cause chaos and confusion across the world. And tonight, Governor Newsom says enough's enough. He's suing Trump, claiming the president does not have the authority to impose tariffs that could cost Californians billions. KCAL News reporter Tom Waite here now with details on Newsom's suit and analysis on its changes.
Right. So we did speak with one expert who says that the suit does have a chance in court. So we'll see how it plays out, Leslie. Governor Newsom says Trump's tariffs are taking a wrecking ball to California's economy, hitting the state harder than any other. And he says Trump's actions are illegal, claiming the Constitution makes clear that Congress is in charge of imposing tariffs, not the president. President Trump's tariff war continues to drag down the markets. Now, after weeks of trillions of dollars in losses, Governor Newsom and State Attorney General Rob Bonta are taking the Trump administration to court, claiming Trump made up a fake national emergency to impose tariffs and that only Congress has the true power to raise taxes on imports.
Where the hell is Congress? Where the hell is Speaker Johnson? Do your job.
Trump does not have the authority to impose these tariffs. He must be stopped.
Newsom and Bonta announced the lawsuit while visiting an almond farm in the Central Valley. The owner of the farm says Trump's tariffs are taking a crushing toll on her business that she's run with her brother since 1998.
Will we be able to access what we need to grow our crops? And if so, will we even be able to afford it?
Meanwhile, on Wednesday, a new warning from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell as he called the Trump administration's tariffs unprecedented in modern history, saying their effects remain highly uncertain.
The level of tariff increases announced so far is significantly larger than anticipated, and the same is likely to be true of the economic effects, which will include higher inflation and slower growth.
The impacts of Trump's tariffs are also taking a toll here at home. Family-owned clothing manufacturing company LA Made is being hit by higher prices for fabric and yarn that they buy from Asia and India.
20% of our fabric is, like I said, is being produced out overseas. So those, they are already started to increase. The yarn is also brought in from India or Korea. So those are going to be impacted too.
Newsom says California will be especially hard hit by tariffs because we manufacture more, grow more, import more, and export more than any other state. But Republicans say the lawsuit is political theater.
It's a publicity stunt. And my second reaction was Governor Newsom really wants to be president of the United States, and he's not. Clearly, the president has the authority to do this.
The courts will ultimately decide the fate of the lawsuit. Loyola law professor Jessica Levinson.
I think there is a case here, and California is essentially arguing that President Trump has gone beyond his authority. The first thing to know is that the Constitution actually gives Congress the power to regulate foreign commerce. Congress has ceded a lot of that authority via statute to the president. So there's a threshold question here as to whether or not Congress actually ceded too much of its power. That's a constitutional question.
Newsom's lawsuit raises another question. Will a public legal battle with President Trump lead to a delay or even a refusal by President Trump to sign off on federal help for fire victims? Governor Newsom has asked the feds for $40 billion.
President Trump has a lot of his own sensitivities. He likes it when people are offer enormous amounts of gratitude and graciousness towards him, and so I think Gavin Newsom is treading very lightly. Even doing that press conference today from the Central Valley, from a Republican stronghold area, is certainly attempting to show the broad kind of bipartisan support that this lawsuit might be able to garner.
Newsom also says the tariffs continue to be a PR nightmare, costing the state billions in lost tourism revenue. He also says the market spiral is forcing him to revise next year's state budget, which he says could mean major cuts. Leslie?
Yeah, we're keeping our eye heavily on this one. Thank you, Tom.